gets a major singles title first? Jey Uso or LA Knight? And I'm going to include Intercontinental Championship as a major singles title in addition to, of course, the undisputed WWE Championship and then the World Heavyweight Championship belt. So Jey Uso, LA Knight, who gets it first?
Does the US title count?
No, I'm not counting US title.
I was gonna say, like, that's gonna happen in like 2 weeks.
Right. No, I'm not counting that one. That feels more of like a mid-card belt to me. Intercontinental, I'm gonna elevate.
Like upper mid.
Yeah. So like who gets a first major singles title between those two? Because the path forward for both, it's like both guys are hot. Like they have a lot of crowd support behind them. But it's like looking at the storylines of what's happening elsewhere. It's like, when do they elevate into that next picture? Because both of them have had title shots. Like they've been in title matches in the past year or so. So like, right. So it's like, who actually gets to that spot first?
I want to say Jay, but LA Knight has been really just biding his time. Like they've really been like, we know you hot. We gonna see how long you maintain this heat. It's been at least a year and a half now, and it's like, okay, like you said before, like I was like, felt shit. He probably ain't gonna be this hot no more. Give him the belt, and he stayed hot. And I won't say it's still as hot as it was then, but he stayed hot, and he's still pretty over. Jay is crazy over, and it's one of those like. They don't necessarily reward you just because you're crazy over. They reward you because you've been able to maintain your over, which is going to make me lean towards LA Knight first.
Like one, I quibble with the IC and the US being in different spots. Like I think it's the same thing on different shows. Like I think,
well then take IC out then. Just the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, just if it's the world titles, whoever's on Raw feels like a cop out. But like it's really, it's like I feel like the SmackDown, well, Cody's belt is going to be spoken for a while. We know who's going to be the main players there, and I don't see either one of them cracking that stratosphere because it's like either Roman or Rock is probably going to be like the next credible person. That, I mean, maybe it's Solo, but that's part of like the Rock Roman storyline. So I think that's where that title is going. Whereas like Seth, I always call it Seth's belt, even though it's not anymore. But Seth's belt, like I feel like that's the more attainable world championship. So whoever's on that show, which right now is Jey Uso, so Jey, for that reason alone.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Jey as well, but it's because I do think that LA Knight at SummerSlam is going to win the US title. So actually maybe that is his first stepping stone. Like he gets to have that belt for a while. He gets to have his run. And once he drops that, he gets elevated again. So like maybe it is LA Knight. It's such a hard, that's why I wanted to ask you guys. Cause like I keep going back and forth. Like one day I'm like, yeah, it's going to be LA Knight. And I'm like, no, it's going to be Jey. It's main event. Jey Uso. It's in the name. Like it's part of the name. Like it has to come to fruition at some point. And I don't know where this bloodline story is going to go. We are 4 years into it at this point, and there are still a lot more twists and turns to come along this path. So like it's a toss up for me, for real. Like it's a real toss up.
This is more of a conversation. One, I think they're the same guy, just on different shows. Like they're positioned in the same exact place. Like seeing them do the YEET, like back and forth before Money in the Bank, kind of like was a light bulb moment for me. It's like y'all the same nigga, like different brands. But like the further we go along with this storyline, like I'm kind of talking myself into Solo possibly winning at SummerSlam just because of what it sets up. Like I'm not 100% there yet, but like I could see, like, because he's saying like get our title back, and then like he's shit talking Roman now explicitly, and if Roman's coming back at SummerSlam, it's because like
I'm tired of your shit.
Yeah, like